Okay, this is Adam from Alaska Cut the Cord, and Phyllis is behind the camera.
Ta-da!
Thanks.
Come join us out here.
Recently, I went on a bear hunt with a friend, and this is my first time ever doing this, right? I'm an over planner, way over planning, which typically is fine. I mean, you make sure that you're covered no matter what happens. It becomes a little bit of a different story when you have to pack that in for a mile or so in through the heat and the mosquitoes and the water, and afterwards you really seriously start questioning, what was I thinking bringing this? Or throughout the hunt, why didn't I bring this? So I'm gonna go over what I took, what I wish I wouldn't have taken, and what really worked out good. And keep in mind, it becomes a little bit more difficult when you're also planning to shoot video on this the whole time, because you're carrying camera gear, you're carrying a drone, all of that stuff. So we'll start off by, I'll show you what the pack looked like when it's on me. This is what I walked out there with. It actually weighed a little bit more than this because I don't have all the food that I ate. So I carried the drone in one hand. I carried probably an 8-pound rifle in the other hand, and I had all of this on the back. Now even standing here, that's not 100% comfortable. It's a lot of weight. So let me lay out and show you what I brought. Okay, so believe it or not, this is what I took with me. And it didn't include everything I wish I had, and it had a little bit more than I wish I had. We'll start off with the base, right? The base is going to be your pack. Now, the pack rack that I chose is the Extreme. It's got a ton of nice padding in here. However, on a hot day, it certainly doesn't keep you from sweating right through it. It's nice. It's got the pouches on the side, fully adjustable. You got chest strap, waist strap, and these get used a lot up here, and they're usually for hauling out game, but in the meanwhile you haul out your stuff. So I've got my sleeping bag, an El Cheapo, about a $19 sleeping bag. This was about $279, the rack, and these D-rings are a lifesaver. Big industrial sized ones for hooking other things too. Worked out really good. The rack I have no complaints about. It was absolutely necessary. You were not making it with a backpack. Did I need it? Yes, I did. Okay, next item. Hip waders. These were really cheap. They were $42. Not a big thing. They're incredibly uncomfortable. They have no insoles at all, and once you put them on, you feel every rock. Would I have brought these? No. The water was only maybe a foot deep, and honestly, as hot as it was, I would have rather been just in my flip-flops. Would have been just fine. I didn't need these. So that's, a pound and a half I could have saved. Next thing that I had here is, next thing that I had here, I had a change of clothes. And I had a sweatshirt, I had a pair of pants, and I had socks and underwear, almost like I was going to have a shower every day, which, as it turns out, I had a shower no days, or any kind of cleanup. So as far as that goes, on a 4-day hunt, what I would guarantee bring is maybe a couple pair of underwear. I'd have at least 1 pair of socks per day. You don't take care of your feet, you got issues. I would have brought the socks. I would have brought this right here. I would not have brought the extra sweatshirt or the pants. So again, I could have eliminated a couple of pounds. Next thing I had, a quality rain jacket. Now, before I get too far into this, you see how all this stuff is packaged up? Incredibly neat. I did not fold that. There's no chance of that happening. Phyllis is the most amazing when it comes to taking up the least amount of room with the most amount of stuff. Really did a phenomenal job. That's awesome. It did not, however, reduce the weight. But the quality rain jacket, this was about $85, and it was totally worth it. Had to have it. You have to have something. I was told to bring water containers, but not water, due to the weight on the airplane, because there's, you know, a river right out there that we actually drank from without purifying it. There are no beavers around. It's a risk. I don't recommend it. Okay. If you get giardia, that's an issue, and you do need medical treatment. So keep that in mind. So what I chose to bring was this. Doesn't weigh much. I mean, really ounces. However, it's really bulky. And by the time I had my rack full, completely packed, couldn't fit another thing in it, and then I had all this other stuff hanging off of it, it was uncomfortable. So I wouldn't have brought this. What I would have brought instead would have been a Camelback. Those are awesome. They work great. When they're empty, they take up almost no space at all. Another thing that I brought was a Hydra Pack. Again, it's silicone and construction. It was probably, I don't know, 25 bucks or so. When it's empty, you can compress it down to nothing. When it's full, it'll actually stand up. This was good. This was worth bringing. Doesn't weigh hardly anything. The next thing I brought the BioLite stove. We've had it now for a little over a year, I think, and I still like it. It works good. It works fine. We use it a lot. I think I need to do some cleaning on it. That worked good. No complaints. Would I do it again? Absolutely. You either have to have that or a jet boil. You have to have one of the two, I would say, in my opinion anyway. Next thing I had a pair of gloves. Just because I was going out on a hunting trip doesn't mean that I wouldn't be splitting firewood and doing other work. So I brought a pair of gloves. Yes, I would bring those again. Sidearm, whatever you might choose. Absolutely necessary, not questionable. Weight, I don't think it's really an issue. You have to have one. What I maybe wouldn't have done, I brought 2 magazines and then I brought another 25 rounds. 45 ammo is really heavy. It's like 50% lead. I may have opted not to bring the extra rounds, as I didn't fire a round anyway out of it. Toilet paper. Absolutely necessary. And I started with a jumbo roll, so I got quite a bit left. We did just fine. I don't care about how much that weighs. You have to have it. I don't know what other people call them, but I always called it a ditty bag, kind of a personal effects bag, you know. Toothbrush, yeah, I didn't use that. Soap, I didn't use that. Aspirin, anything like that. No, I didn't use any of that. Do I think you shouldn't have brought it? No, I think I should have used it. But I didn't use any of it. And this was actually completely packed full, and I didn't use any of that. Next thing. A waterproof container. This is really nice. Did I use it? No. Is it heavy? Yeah, fairly heavy. It's actually an OtterBox, completely waterproof, and inside of it, I kept my head nets. I didn't use those either. Not one bit.
Because you forgot.
What? Oh, yeah. One more valuable thing here that I didn't bring that I really wish I had was a baseball hat. Because with a baseball hat, you can put your head net on and it's not tight against your face like you're robbing a bank. If it's tight against your face, the mosquitoes just go through it and bite you anyway. So I didn't have a baseball hat, so I didn't wear these. I didn't use this at all. Not necessary. Is it a good idea? Yeah. Did I use it? No. Next time I do this, it will be minimalistic. And this was not minimalistic, I was planning. Okay, so there's that. Cookware. I bought, I don't know, it's probably a $10 set. It's got a pot, a pan, a bowl. It's got a cup inside. I actually remembered silverware. Simeon didn't. I bet he wish he would have brought that. This worked awesome. I used it multiple times a day, and it worked great. No complaints at all with that. That was a good thing. Weight's not that much. A good knife. Absolutely. You better plan on having a good knife, otherwise I don't know why you're going out there. I don't have something extreme. It's actually a handmade knife, high carbon steel. I don't like stainless. It doesn't hold an edge, it's too soft. And when skinning a bear, you'll find out that the hide is about as tough as brass. The hairs are super abrasive and always dirty. So a good knife, absolutely necessary. Weight, not that much. Oh yes. Me, being the planner, brought a medical kit. In case of bear attack, this wouldn't have done anything for you. The only thing that would be a satellite phone, which Simeon brought one of those. I didn't have one. I didn't use it. You should bring it. I think you should. The weight isn't that much. I think we spent probably 60 bucks on it. It's a rather more inclusive kit. So it's got all kinds of stuff in there. I didn't really look at it much. Mostly trauma kits. You've got your cut stop or your bleed stop, whatever they call it. It's like a trauma pack. If you get a big injury, you can put it on there and it'll instantly clot it up, so you stop bleeding anyway. So yeah, should have that. I brought an MSR water purifier. It's a pump style with a ceramic filter in it. Really fancy, about $109. I didn't use it. Would I bring it again? No. Would I have bought it? No, probably not. The water, was good. They've been drinking it for 10 years out there, so I'm gonna trust them on this, but it wasn't, it works so slowly that if I were gonna fill this container, I would have had to been squatted down by the river for about an hour and a half. I absolutely wouldn't have brought it. I also brought a life straw. I know many of you have either used them or seen them. I didn't use it. I don't know. I'm a planner. What can I say? Didn't use it at all. If I had to choose between the two, I would have probably chosen the life straw. A, because it's smaller, and B, if it's that situation where I actually have to drink out of a puddle on the side, I'll take this before I'm gonna take that and have to have a container, and too much work. So this was worth it. I also brought, it's a Baylite striker for starting fires. Did I use it? No. Would I bring it again? I think so. I think I would have. I always plan 2 or 3 ways to start a fire. Waterproof matches, anything like that. If you don't have a fire and you don't have water, you're not gonna last very long out there. So I don't remember what I paid. I think it was like $19 or something on Amazon. They're pretty awesome. You should check them out, Baylite. They're pretty cool, not very expensive. I went and spent the money on a thermocell. I know I had one before for bow hunting and such. I didn't really use it. I use this every single day. This was awesome for keeping the mosquitoes away. I went and bought the 120-hour kit for it. So that kit, this is what's left, but it comes with the fuel, the thermocell fuel, and it comes with the packs to go, the little things that go in here that actually make the mosquitoes stay away. It does work. I'm glad I brought it. It wasn't cheap, but mosquitoes, that's all I have to say. Max DEET. When I asked what I should bring or how bad the mosquitoes were, I was told, I'm gonna bring bug dope, you bring bug dope, and we pray to God we brought enough. We did okay. There were 3 types of insects out there. First, it was the mosquitoes, which I can deal with, I'm used to. Then it was the gnats, which they weren't biting or anything, so they weren't that bad. But the worst one was the black flies. Wow, wow, they are unstoppable out there. Not good at all. Then I had, in addition to the rifle, which I don't have laying out here, which is a solid 8 pounds, I had 2 magazines and extra ammo. Overkill? I don't know. I maybe would have skipped 1 box of ammo because, again, ammo is A, it's expensive, and B, it's heavy. So I may have skipped that. Now, this one was pretty cool because I bought the Extreme rack without the integrated bag. I needed a bag somehow, and I wanted it to have multiple uses. So I bought the Lindner's Angling Edge. It's a silicone impregnated bag, so it's waterproof. Again, I've got more D-rings on it. I bought this because I figured that worst case scenario, if we were going out from camp and we were going to be out for hours and we needed water and maybe going to cook on the way, I could just grab this instead of having the big pack and we'd be good to go. But when I'm not hunting, this is perfect to take fishing. It's awesome. You can put all your stuff in there, your camera gear, whatever. The zippers are waterproof. This was, I don't remember how much. It was like $129. It wasn't cheap, but absolutely worth it. And we'll use it all the time around here. It's the only backpack that we have that's waterproof. So that was totally worth it. Now, what did I do for food? Well, I'm from Wisconsin, so I had to have beef jerky. You gotta have that. And I had coffee right here. Just the Folgers instant coffee. And then I thought it was extreme overkill at the time, but I liked it because of the way it was packaged simply. I bought the ReadyWise hunting breakfast and entree bucket, 3 full days. I actually have like 4 or 5 pouches left over. It worked good. A little bit on the bulky side, but what I found is that when you open it up, it was only like 80% full. So I packed other things in here to make complete use of it. I also did that same technique with my water jug. I had toilet paper, I had all kinds of stuff in here. It was completely full. So whatever this weighs, you could quadruple it by the time I had it full. Same thing with that. Now, because we were shooting video out there the whole time, I also had a camera bag with 2 GoPros, accessories, chargers. We did have a little generator out there, and that actually weighed quite a bit. If I were to do it over again, it's risky to bring just 1 camera in case you have an issue, but I probably would have just brought 1 camera with the extra battery and made it work. Because I could have packed that in here and eliminated that bag. I would have most likely done that. Now, for 5 minutes of drone footage, not even that, maybe a minute of drone footage, I brought this. This has the drone in it. It's a Pelican case. It's actually really heavy with the drone because it's got 2 batteries, the charger, the drone itself, and we had put some other camera gear in there, like head straps and stuff like that. The last real thing I'm going to mention is my hunting licenses and stuff like that. I put them inside a waterproof bag, inside my waterproof bag, to make sure that they were absolutely taken care of. Okay, so what I've done here, I've separated what I am glad that I brought and needed and what I didn't bring. And included in this pile, when we originally got there, before the plane took off, I had my firearms in this case. This is heavy. This was more than I was possibly going to carry out. So I actually eliminated that before we actually took to the air. But this is what I wish I wouldn't have brought. And this, even though if I weren't shooting video, you wouldn't have this in there, which would save a ton of weight, and everything else would have gone. Now, as far as what do I wish that I would have brought that isn't in either of these two piles. First off, we'll start with a baseball hat. A simple baseball hat. Keeps the sun out of your eyes, keeps the rain off your glasses in my case, and it keeps the head net off your face. That would have been totally worth it. Another one, it was kind of borderline whether we actually needed light out there. Well, in the dark of night, whatever, we could have. It is Alaska, so it never really gets dark. But I didn't bring any kind of a light, any kind of an external light. And this is actually Phyllis's. It's a Phoenix headlamp that's rechargeable LED. Probably the best light we've ever had. And as far as how long does it last and such, it was almost the same price as a Nebo, but really pay attention to the number of hours that it's going to run on high when you look at a headlamp like that. So I would have brought a light. That would have made some sense, not a lot of weight. And lastly, I don't even know why I own these, because I always leave them perfectly safe on the wall in the house and I never actually bring them. But a set of binoculars. I did not have a set of binoculars. I didn't have a scope on my gun, and I think I really missed some views and possibly some bears because I didn't have any sort of optics, and my eyes aren't that good anyway. I'm wearing glasses, so I wish I would have brought that. All in all, the trip was safe. Everybody did fine. It was just a lot more work getting out there and back out than I had hoped for, but I hope this helps you. I mean, if you're planning a trip, really think about it. I know you're at home, you shower every day, you brush your teeth every day. When you're out on a mountainside or way out there, does it really matter? Will it affect you living or not living? I look at things that way. I have a different perspective on this stuff now. So I hope this video helps you. Feel free to comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. It really helps out. And I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to our channel. But that's what I got. And this is Adam.
And Phyllis.
From Alaska Cut the Cord. Love you, bye.